I'm not really sure, to be perfectly honest. I've just always drawn or painted or just played around with art things, and did well in art classes, was encouraged by my art teachers. Um, so yeah, I just loved doing it, and so carried on. I can't say that it was hugely beneficial, but my career has been very stop and start. I mean, I started out working for Potters, being a teacher in classes, but then when my oldest child was born, that all had to go on pause. And so it's just been, it was kind of stop and start after that. So in as much as I am a clay artist and a potter, currently as my job, I can't say that my art degree actually participated all that much in determining that path. I really like functional pots. I really like the idea of making something, having someone take it home and then touch it like all the time, whether it's a mug that they're drinking their coffee or tea from, that I feel like I'm participating and connecting with them in that way, or their bowl of ice cream, or whatever it happens to be. I really like that idea. But I also like playing with sculpture. I did a lot of clay sculpture when I was younger. That was just a lot of fun. And I'm hoping to get back to some of that in the near future, so that'll be interesting to see. I love to paint, and I have recently taken up some quilting, so that has been a lot of fun to try or to work in the different medium. I think it is a lot of fun to work in different mediums because it makes your brain, like, you have to approach things from a completely different perspective, and so it's activating all these other aspects of your creativity, and so it translates into how I'm thinking about the pots that I'm making, because like with the quilting, where I'm cutting and piecing things and different colors together. I hadn't previously worked a lot with color in my pots. It was just some more, I guess, muted colors that I would put on my pots. But then once I started working with quilts and I loved all of the big, bright, happy colors and patterns with the fabrics, and so now I've started playing with colors and patterns on the surfaces of my pots. So that has been a fun new endeavor that I'm trying out, and people seem to like it, so that's fun. Teaching is a lot of fun, and it makes me really think about the process that I go through when I'm making my pots, because I've kind of get to the point where I'm on autopilot and I'm not really thinking about what I'm doing. You kind of go into like that Zen, like, meditation place, and you just kind of go. But when I'm teaching, I really have to stop and break it down to figure out, okay, where is this student in their learning process, and what do they need from me? What is it that I can offer them to help them improve their skills or solve this problem? So it really makes me think about my own work in a really different way that actually then helps my own work, because then I stop to think about it and can be more thoughtful or change something, try something new, because it's making me think about what I'm doing in some different ways. So everybody's always so excited. They really want to be there and they really want to learn. So that's inspiring to me. It kind of invigorates my own work because it gets me excited to come into my own studio and do my own work rather than just only helping them create their work. So it's kind of a mutual, two-way street there. So that's a lot of fun. That can be kind of intense because you end up, I think for me, when I was taking classes and in college and when I was first working, there wasn't any emphasis on anything other than the making of the art, the skills required to actually make whatever it is that you were working on. And so when you are trying to make a living, when you're trying to sell your work, when you're preparing for a show, there are so many other hats that you have to put on to prepare for a show like that, as far as what your display is going to look like, how, all of the aspects of creating this display that people are going to hopefully be drawn into and want to look at. There's the advertising, there's physically packing up, all of your pots and figuring out how to price everything. There's the talking to all of the people who come, which outside of teaching, it's just kind of usually me in here by myself doing my thing. So you end up kind of having to put on all these different hats to figure out how to get there. So yeah, it can be intense because you want to have a nice display, so you want to make sure that you've got lots of pots for me available for to set up a nice dispersive display. So yeah. For me, it's not been such a huge deal. I think some of that is because I'm really just kind of getting back into it post-COVID the past couple of years because I was building, COVID really shut everything down for me. And then I was building my studio, which then took some time. And then, so I've really only been in here, a year or two. And to have, sort of my business trying to move forward. So I feel like I'm a little bit, social media just hasn't really been on my radar because I've just been trying to get my feet under me as far as what I'm going to be doing and how I'm going to sell my work and the type of work that I'm going to be selling. So, I do connect with people via social media, and it has, turned into sales a little bit, but it's just been more about sharing what I'm doing, and with mostly the people that I know. I don't have a ton of people that are just random people following me right now, so it's been more about the personal connections, in-person connections that I have made for me, but I don't know that I feel like I'm the anomaly in that respect. So it's been pretty important. I mean, clay is something that unfortunately requires a lot of equipment and a lot of space, and space that can be dirty and not concerned about how messy it might be for other people, or so having a place to work at home has been really, really helpful. Another thing with clay is, catching things at the right dryness, because if it's too wet, you can't take it to the next step, or if it dries too much, you can't take it to the next step. So it's been nice to be able to just pop out, sort of pop in and out, and then in and amongst having a younger kid who still needs me, or is homesick, or all of the things. It's nice to have it right here. I don't have to drive across town.